Hello, 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 beautiful people. Hello, beautiful people. I want to welcome you to today's affirmation coloring session. Yes. This is going to be a members only chat. So if you are here live, please know that this right here is a members only chat. So you have to be a member to chat with me, to ask me questions. However, you do not have to be a member to join me on this journey, baby. How are you doing today? You do not have to be a member to say the affirmations. You don't have to be a member to be here right now. Hello, good people. I'm joining you from my altar room. I've got a beverage. I've got a few coloring books. It's Friday, my loves. It's Friday. Happy Friday to you. I want to say this. You made it. Yes, you did. You got through this week. Yes, you did. There are forces at work that don't want you to get through this week, but you have gotten through this week, and I celebrate you. I celebrate you. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Don. How are you? So, here's the thing. We're going to do some affirmations. We're going to do some coloring. And I'm going to ask the members if they want to ask me any questions. Here's the thing. You aren't going to get a full reading on this page. The questions that I welcome here right now that I'm willing to answer are actually personal questions about me. So if you have personal questions about my journey spiritually or in my healing journey, you can ask that. Also, you can ask some general questions about about life, about, life hacks and things of that nature. Do not ask any questions actually, you can ask questions all you want to, but I'm not going to answer those. If you want to get a personal reading from me, that's going to be possible in a couple of weeks. So don't ask those questions that are about that require a deep personal reading. Hello, peace. Hello, Sarah. Yes. Nicole said, struggling with this energy. How are you? You know what? I'm doing good. Honestly, I'm doing good. It's been a struggle this week, but I take it day by day. I take it moment by moment, and I'm doing good. I am surrounded by a good support system. I am not a healer that doesn't practice what I preach. So these times are trying and these times are hard. And y'all have to know that I am relying on my spiritual team hardcore. And because of that, I'm doing good. I'm also relying on my spiritual support system hardcore. So because of that, I'm doing good. Hello, my loves. Hello. Good evening to all of you. I hope your night is good. I hope your day is good. I hope your morning has been good. I hope everything has been good. So, first and foremost, today we're going to do coloring and affirmations. But before we begin, I'm going to ask my members which book would you like me to color from today? We have two options and you will decide. First and foremost, we have tattoo designs. I love this book. This book is all about traditional tattoo designs over the years. Y'all all know that I am tatted myself. So and as you probably saw when I was flipping through, I've already colored in this book. So I love it. Would you guys like me to color from the tattoo designs? Or would you like me to color from the perverted adult coloring book? So let's be clear. I got this book from Barnes and Nobles and years ago. I don't know if this is still there, but I got it years ago. And I ordered this one from Amazon. Actually, I did not order this. This was on my wish list about a year ago. And one of you bought this for me. Wait a minute. No, I'm not getting my story straight. I bought this for myself a little while ago. I thought I pulled out another book. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, I thought I pulled out another book that one of y'all bought for me. But that's not true. I recently bought this book. I actually have another book of like curse words and an adult coloring book that one of you did buy for me about a year ago. but this one is one I bought for myself. So let me know which one you want me to color from. Because this is an adult coloring book and this is YouTube, I actually can't color from too many places on this book, but I did go ahead and scope out. There is one page that I can color from this book that won't get me demonetized. So let me know if you want me to color from this book or if you want me to color from this book while we're setting our affirmations. I'm going to take the first few votes. Hello. We've got Sarah in the building. We've got Nicole in the building. So far, I've got one vote for the new tattoo book. I've got another vote for the new tattoo book. All right. You know what? We're gonna go with that. We're gonna do the coloring from the tattoo book. I'm gonna go ahead and make an executive decision. We're gonna do this. All right. All right, so today we're going to color from the new tattoo book. Let me introduce you to my tools. So in this video, we're going to feature my 64 crayon colors box from Crayola. I might be using those. It all depends on what picture I pick. And we're also going to be using my random box of, we may be using my random box of colored pencils. Now, this has expensive and cheap and all things in between colored pencils in this. This box has been with me for a long time. I have used this box to work with children in all kinds of capacities and to just color for myself. So this is a smorgasbord of randomness. We're going to be using this too, depending on what the color schemes call for. Now, this is an affirmation Q&A coloring session. So I will be taking questions from my members to answer. And we will, oh my God! I just spilled all my affirmations everywhere. So this is my empty affirmation box. All of my affirmations are all over the floor. Oh God, that's gonna be quite an adventure to clean up. I'm filming this on my computer, so I'm not gonna like take my computer to the floor, but the affirmations are everywhere. Oh, Jesus! I'm so clumsy! I'm so clumsy. I'm so sorry. This is oh my God. All of these affirmations are everywhere. I'm just gonna pick them up from the floor. That's how we're gonna do this, obviously. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So we're going to be using the creative coloring for grown-ups tattoo designs. That's what we're going to be working with today. I have colored in this book before. This is my book. I love coloring, so it's very relaxing. So I'm going to choose a design to color right now. Let's see what I'm going to be working on. After I choose what design I'm going to be coloring today, we're going to do some affirmations, and we're also going to dig into the Q&A. So y'all can ask questions about your week. You can ask, and you actually ask all the questions you want. I'm not going to answer every question. Oh, I'm going to color a flower today. So let's detail what I'm coloring. So this is the page that I've obviously colored before. I used colored pencils before. We're going to see what I want to use today. But I'm going to go ahead and choose one of these flowers to color. My first inclination is actually colored pencil, so that's what we're going to go for. And now that I know what I'm going to do, let me get this nice and open. I've got a sharpener here. Do I need to empty this? No, I do not. I don't need to empty this for now. It is got some shavings in it from the last time I colored, but we're still good. So I'm going to color some flowers. I've got my sparkling water. All the affirmations are on the floor. Oh my God! We're just going to roll with it. This is the chaos and loveliness of my life. All right, I'm going to check in with the comments. This week has been a lot. Someone said we need them all. That's why they all spilled to the floor, because Spirit was like, y'all need all the affirmations. This week has been rough. It's been hard. So here's all of them. No matter what you are, no matter what you got going on, here's all the affirmations. Bless you. I believe that's what happened. All right, Dragon Dancer, tattoo. So there's more choices. Yes. So we're going to do the tattoo session. Let's see. Sarah said, I feel like we've been stuck in challenges for a long time now. The reward for what's to, no, excuse me, the reward had to come. Yeah, that's right. The reward had to come. My bad. I'm sorry. I was reading that crazy. All right, good people. Let's do this thing. How are you today? Let me tell you how this is going to work. So, I'm going to do some coloring. I'm going to entertain these comment sections. As members, you get to ask me some personal things. You get to ask me what you want to ask me, and I'm going to answer those things. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask me things that require a full reading. If you want a full reading from me, you can get that. And that'll be available in the next couple of weeks. But if you have some general questions to ask, if you have some yes or no questions to ask, if you have some, you just want to pick my brain questions to ask, this is the time to do that. So, members, get your questions on, okay? Ask the questions that you want to ask, all right? While I'm doing that, while I'm coloring, while I'm answering questions, we're going to do some affirmations because Lord have mercy. This has been a wild week, a wild life, a wild month, a wild year, a wild decade, a wild century, a wild the last 5 years. So we're just going to do some affirmations to pour into ourselves. This is the part where I invite you to grab your comfort items, to grab your art, to grab your coloring books, to grab the things that make you relax, darling. And let's get into chilling together. All right. All right. So I'm going to reach to the floor because I literally opened that. I put the affirmation box downside. Didn't realize that. Opened it up and spilled them everywhere. So we're just going to reach to the floor. Excuse me while I grab some affirmation. Literally grabbed a handful, so we got what we got. I'm gonna choose a few and then drop the rest of these to the floor because it is what it is. I'll clean this up when we are done. I'll clean this up. And when we are done, I will clean this up when we are done. Let me get our first affirmation. Woo! We're starting out powerful. So this is how we're going to do this. For those of you who are familiar with my content, you know I love a call and response moment. So we're going to do some call and response, all right? I'm going to say this affirmation, and then you're going to speak this affirmation. I'm going to say this affirmation, and then you're going to speak this affirmation. And by doing that, we're going to pour good energy into ourselves. So repeat after me. I am the power and authority in my world. I am the power and authority in my world. I am the power and authority in my world. I am the power and authority in my world. I am the power and authority in my world. I am the power and authority in my world. I am the power and authority in my world. I am the power and authority in my world. That's a powerful affirmation. I'm going to use this moment to select my colors and my picture I'm going to color. That's a powerful affirmation because so many of us were indoctrinated not to be the powers and authorities in our world. So many of us were indoctrinated to look at other people for authority and to give us permission to be our greatest self. And for me, that affirmation is saying, do not let anyone give you permission to be your most authentic and most beautiful self. So I've chosen my color. What is this? This is a number. I don't know what color this is. It's a number. This is one of the cheap. This is my box of colored pencils, and it's made up of cheap and expensive and mid-range colored pencils. I don't know what's going on in here. This box is a tribute to my time working with children from being a teacher and a nanny. And it's a box of randoms. We're just going to go with what I feel. We are going to color today. We're going to color this picture right here. You can see I've already colored some others in this book. We're going to focus on this one right here. I'm going to, now that I have my first color chosen, now that we've done an affirmation, let me check in with these comments. Do you guys have any questions for your girl, for your boy, for your auntie? Dragon Dancer said, I'm grabbing a blankie. Sarah said, we did need them all. Yeah, we do, baby. Yeah, we do. Sarah said, I feel like we've been stuck in challenges for a long time now. The reward has come. Yes. Dragon Dance said, this week has been shit for me as well. Well, you know what? If this has been a shit week for you, I hope that this video provides some type of comfort. I hope that this video provides some type of goodness for you. I hope that, like, my content provides some type of reprieve from the wildness from you. That's what I would like to be. I don't ever want to, serve as escapism. I don't ever want to, serve as an entity that takes you away from your reality in a disconnected fashion that does not allow you to grow. What I would like to serve for all of you is a light source, is a beacon for knowledge, a beacon for growth. I'd like to be a healing source that is not centering toxic positivity. I'd like to be a healing well of energy that is very much about loving who you are, understanding the good, the bad, the ugly of what makes us, and learning to balance all that is that we've come into the world with. So, well, there's a new member. Hello, Smiley Bread. Welcome, Sugar Baby. Sugar Honey Dumplings, I'm so glad you're a part of my community. You make life good. Yes, you do. You make life good for me. And I hope I make life good for you. Do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions? And let me go ahead and be clear about what type of questions you can ask me here. You can ask me about my history of abuse. You can ask me, be respectful always. Please know that. Because if you're not respectful, I will clap back. And I'm a whole priestess. So it's not just me clapping back, it's my spirit. So always be respectful. You can ask me about my process in understanding who I am and what my gender was, what my sexuality was. You can ask me basically about anything I've shared freely with y'all. If it's on this YouTube page, you can ask me about it. If you want to ask me about Jehovah Witness things, you can ask me. If you can ask me about anything I've shared. So let's make that clear. Let's make that clear. Let's make that clear. Let's make that clear. I want to also say this. I'm choosing to do some coloring with you guys because I want to normalize basic levels of self-care. Coloring is so good for me. From my neurodivergent perspective, from so many perspectives, it just brings me so much joy. It brings my inner child joy. It brings my adult joy. It brings a lot of aspects of me joy. So I just want to remind you to don't neglect some of the activities we did as children. A lot of those things can be beneficial to helping you process your world as an adult. Here's my progress. I'm working on this flower right here. So some of you can see I've done some inner circle work. And this is the pencil that I'm using. We're going with some yellows. I'm thinking brightness. This is kind of a like lime greenish, yellowish thing we've got going on. I'm going to leave this to the side, separated, because I want to come back to that. Let me check into the comments. Hello. Dragon Dancer said, you always make me think of things in a different way, even if it's hard. Thank you for that. And that's what I meant to do, baby. That's what I meant to do. I just want to challenge. That's all. The growth is through challenge, honey. Define who you are and then challenge those definitions. Define what you believe and then challenge those definitions. And you know what you're going to come to? Growth. Growth. If you believe what you believe and it continues to be solid every single time you challenge it, you're going to grow through that. And if you believe what you believe and you challenge it and you find what you believed previously was good for then but not good for now, you're going to grow. I'm all about challenging. I'm challenged every day. I'm challenged every day. I don't keep a world of yes men around me. I keep a world of people whom we have like minded interests. We want to see the world grow. We want to see ourselves expand. We want to see the people around us win. After that, we all come from different perspectives, different viewpoints, and this does nothing but enhance us. So I'm so grateful that I can serve as a beacon for you that's about challenging our perspective. This is what I believe we should be doing as humans. Challenge your perspective. And if it weighs out, it's going to weigh out. And if it doesn't weigh out, guess what? You get to grow and expand. 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 Okay. We are moving forward with the flower motif. We're going for gold. And Lord, there's another new member. Ray the Tray. Welcome, Sugar Baby. Welcome, Sugar Baby. Welcome, Sugar Baby. Welcome. All of my sugar honey dumplings, I want to thank you for supporting. I want to thank every single one of you. Whether you subscribe to this channel or not, if you've watched a singular video of mine, thank you. Whether you subscribe to this channel or not, I want to thank you for viewing my readings and my content. But to all of my subscribers, to all of my sugar honey dumpling crew, I send out a special thank you because you support me and I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. And I want to keep giving you what you want to be given. Let me know what you need from me. And if I have the capacity, I'm going to give that to you. Let me check in with the comments. Dawn said, is it common for one's spirits and ancestors to come in and out of focus? Yes! Okay. Let me get myself together around this question. The immediate answer is yes. Oh, no. Oh, no. Look what happened. I don't know if you can see. Look, this is what happened. I sharpened it, and then the tip came out. That's what he said. Anyway, let me sharpen this again and answer that question. I'm going to read it one more time. Is it common for one's spirits and ancestors to come in and out of focus? Yes, it is, darling. Yes, it is. Because here's the thing. They understand that we live life. There are some times when spirit recognizes that you are not listening. There are moments when spirit recognizes you ain't listening and you ain't about to listen. So they will exit your life and not give you advice because you're not open to it. There are times when spirits will exit out of your life or be quieter in your life when you need to sit in the lesson by yourself. I'll tell you this, you're never not guided. You're never not with your counsel. There is someone with you always. There is your spirit guides. There is your, even if they're with you in an observatory capacity, even if they're not offering any support, but they're observing you, you're not by yourself. So there are times when you're in and out of communication with your spirit guides, depending on what lesson you're going through, depending on what outcome you need to learn, depending on the level of connectedness. Now, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of times, our spirits are not in connection with us, not from their end, but from our end. We live in a society that does not encourage spiritual connection because you know what spiritual connection breeds? Freedom. It breeds rebellion. It breeds sovereignty. I'm glad there's not a lot of you on this live. Because that's some deep information right there if you took it deep in your soul. So yes, it is okay. It's very regular. It's a part of spiritual life, especially when you begin your spiritual journey to be in and out of connection with our spiritual team because we don't live in a societal life that supports spiritual connection. I'm not talking religious connection, I'm talking spiritual connection. So let me know if that made sense to you. Let me know if I answered your questions, my love. Let me know if I answered that question. Sarah said, I knew you had to have been a teacher. You have that ability to break things down so well. Thank you. Yes, I've been a teacher. I have been a para. I work with kids. And let me tell you something. Adults, we love to because, it's because of colonialism and white supremacy that we other people and we value hierarchy. Like, adults ain't that different from kids. If you want to know how to work with adults better, I want you to take a classroom management class. If you want to learn how to relate to and how to teach adults better, I want you to learn to take a gentle parent. Go ahead and take a gentle parenting class, okay? We aren't that different from kids. We aren't. And a lot of us are actually children in our emotions, the way we have been emotionally stunted due to trauma. So I take a job as a teacher seriously, no matter who I'm teaching. If I'm teaching children, if I'm teaching adults, I take it seriously. And even though I'm not formally in that job position as a spiritual leader, a guru, a guide, a priestess, a priest, a shaman, I am in that position. So I take my job as a teacher very seriously. And I strive to be the best teacher that I can be. And I fail y'all sometimes. I'm not gonna lie about that. I fail y'all sometimes. I win more than I fail with y'all, but I do fail y'all sometimes. And please know that I acknowledge those times when I do fail you, and I don't judge myself. I simply address where I went wrong. I address it from the core. I address it from the root, and I work hard to get better. I work hard to get better because my loyalty to my kids, my loyalty to my godchildren, my loyalty to the people that I teach, my loyalty to my members outweighs my addiction to be right. It outweighs my need to be on top. More than that, I want to be a good person for y'all. More than that, I want to be a good teacher. I want to be a good guide. So I thank you for your words. I do. Let's do a check-in on my coloring. So I said I'm going in with this gold. I hope this is a different quality. So let me acknowledge that I usually do these lives from my phone. I'm doing this live from my computer. So this is going to be a different camera quality. This is on a MacBook and this is on a 2020 version. So this is not it's still relevant technology, but it's a couple of years behind. But in the end, this is what I'm working on right now. I went in with some yellow. I went in with this neon yellow in the beginning in these petals, and now I'm going in with this gold-ish. We're using colored pencils right now, and I'm only focusing on this. These are flowers I've done before. And once again, for the new people, I'm working from the tattoo design book. I feel like I still have some gold to do. Actually, let me finish what I wanted to do. I wanted to color in these inner petals, and we're going to get to some affirmations because this is an affirmation question and answer. So we've done some affirmations. I've answered some questions. I've done some coloring, and now we're going to go back to some affirmations. All right, I colored in what I colored in and what I wanted. I'm going to keep these two out. Now, this box of colored pencils that I'm using is random. So it's got some Crayola things. It's got a couple of expensive colored pencils. Then it's got some cheap colored pencils. I think these are on the cheap end. I don't know, but these don't have a color. They just have a number. But I'm going to keep these out because I think I might keep infusing those colors. Anyway, let's check in with the comments and do some affirmation. We have Ray the Trey. Actually, let me go back. Let me go back. Okay, so I answered Dawn's question. Hey, Ray the Trey, glad to be here. You're worth it. I want to shout out you for your support. Thank you so much for just being here in the comments. In the you always throw me some tithing. I thank you. I thank you. What's your favorite? Don Haywood said, "What's your favorite song, baby?" That's a loaded question. Let me take a drink. And this is sparkling water. Specifically, This post is not sponsored. I am drinking Aha caffeinated sparkling water. This is the Fuji apple white tea. I'm drinking the caffeinated because I plan on having a dance party with me and my ancestors after I do this. So when I finish coloring and going live with you guys, I have a weekly dance party that I have with my ancestors. It's a form of prayer for me, and a form of exercise. But we're gonna get down tonight. So I want to make sure I have enough energy. I've got a really amazing playlist planned for me and my ancestors, and I want to make sure I deliver on my private dance floor. So that's what we're drinking. It's not sponsored. I didn't mean to show you all of that. My bad. Okay, what's my favorite song? Okay, today. This is not, you can't, you're gonna have to ask me this question. It changes monthly, weekly, different, hourly. But today, right now, it's Electric Feel by, what is it, the MGM Factory. I love that song. And I was grooving off on that today, and I was just feeling myself, and it literally infuses me with the electricity of dance. I love it so much. So that's my current favorite song. I love it. Okay. Let's keep going. Smiley Bread said, I have learned so much from your TikTok. I appreciate you sharing. Thank you. Currently receiving a lot of hate on TikTok right now, so you guys notice I haven't been posting as regularly as I do. Cause mental health things, all right? But please know I'm about to come back strong. Well, you know I always come back strong, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Ray the Trade, glad to be here. I'm glad you're here too. I'm glad you're here too. Sarah Hunter said, my son is also neurospicy and thinks he may be non-binary. How old were you when you were sure? Okay, this is a great question. Let's get into it. So, how old when I was sure? I've always been sure of who I am, actually. The journey has been fighting through unsafe space around me that has tried to unseat me from the surety of who I am. When it comes to when I actualized who I was in a gender perspective, I had to be about 7 or 8. And it was a very innocuous thought. And it was so innocuous and so pure that it was just accepted inside of me. But I didn't have the language all the way to understand what I was saying to myself. The simple language that I used at the beginning of this journey was, I am my dad. I am my mom. Because those were what I identified as masculine and feminine. And I very clearly understood I was them, but it wasn't from a cultural or bloodline perspective. I said that in the way of, I am my mother's femininity and I am my father's masculinity. I knew that at 8. And the moment that has come to me is, it literally, like I said, it was innocuous. It was a moment when I was dressed actually very girly, and I had stepped in dog poo poo, dressed in a very girly space, and also I had a very intense. I don't like. I had a just very intense. Actually, now that I know who I am, neurospicy reaction. That I had things. I had issues with textures. So it was the texture of the dog poop on my shoe and the visualness. Like I had a meltdown. I was having a whole meltdown behind that, and like I was just melting down. And when my father came to fix it, he like saw me and he came to swoop me up and like clean my shoes off, and I was literally just melting down. It was in that moment that had nothing to do with gender, that had nothing to do with anything. It was in that moment, and I can't tell you what it was in that moment. Though I remember being like, "I am my father. I am my mother," and I knew it from a gender perspective. I knew it from a like it's so interesting. So I knew from an early age, and from an early age, I shortly after that, I also recognized that I wasn't in a safe enough space to explore that in the capacities that I needed to. So I knew from an early age, and I also knew from an early age that I was not supported in my gender expression. For context, I came up in a Jehovah Witness household, and I came up in a patriarchal household that was very abusive and destructive. My father was abusive on the mental, emotional, spiritual level, everything but the sexual level. He was very abusive on. And I was stripped of a lot because of that abuse. And because of that abuse, I learned early on that these inner expressions of who I was as a whole person were not welcome there. So, for those of you who are parenting non-binary children, or for those of you who are parenting androgynous children, or for those of you who are parenting gender, gender fluid children, I identify as gender fluidness. What I can say is this: share your truth, because that's going to be beneficial in the long run and in the short run of your children understanding where you're coming from, but also be open to exploring. And it's okay to tell your children as they are exploring themselves that you don't understand parts of their journey. It's okay to be honest about that. But as you, as the adult, you have more resources to do more exploration. You have more resources to do more study. So offer your children that. Go off and do the work on your own. It's okay to tell your children in the moment your truth, and your duty to your children is to do better. So when they're offering you something that is different and weird for you, it's okay for you to be human and be like, well, that's new. I don't understand what to do with that. But you know what? As your parent, it's my duty to walk the journey to try my best to understand. So I'm gonna go off and get them resources because I have access to more resources than you. So I'm gonna go off and use these resources that I have more access to, and then come back with you with support. So I hope they gave you something. I hope they gave you something. I hope they gave you something. Hello, 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 beautiful people. Melanie said, I'm not at home, so I don't have my stuff, but I just left the pool. Water makes you feel great. Yes, baby. Water, and if you are around water in any capacity, this is a magic trick for all of y'all. Water in all forms will heal and will cleanse. You have to know how to channel it. You have to know how to connect with it. So if you're at the pool, there is ritual you can do. There is ceremony that you can do to help cleanse and refresh your spirit and your soul. What's even better is if you're in, an ocean, if you're in the stream, okay? But you can also use your baths and your showers as a cleansing effect for you. So utilize that water, baby. Utilize that water. Utilize that water. Let me get to more of these questions, more of these comments. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Okay. Dawn said you did answer my question. I'm glad. Let's check in with Ray the Trey. I love you. You're always so supportive. Ray the Trey said, also, whenever your benevolent spirits are with you, even with your environment, like items, animals, etc., they show up in your space for reasons and even beyond our comprehension. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Ray the Trey, you want some shit. You want some shit in a good way. You want some shit, and I like you a lot. I like you. Hey, Amanda, catching up late, baby. You right on time. You right on time, baby. You right on time, Amanda. Ray the Trey said, I always felt non-binary, but I didn't know how to express it when I was a child. Due to the traumas of the 90s weren't kind. However, I'm so happy that people are growing because we deserve to grow. Yes, 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 yes. We didn't have, a lot of us didn't have the language. It didn't mean we weren't who we were. So as the language evolves, I love the fact that a lot of us can find ourselves in these definitions that have actually always been around, but we didn't have the words. We didn't have the words. I also want to mention this, like, this is the importance of looking into your ethnicity. Let's get into it. Baby, let me tell you something. My voodoo journey. Let me talk about that. Let me talk about how I've always inherent, and I'm getting the goosebumps because spirit is around me, and I'm about to tell some truth and I'm about to channel. For those of you who feel lost, for those who feel like for those of you who feel like you don't belong in this society, for those of you who feel like I'm so outcasted, I'm so different, let me tell you that you're not. And let me tell you, the way to finding home is to put in the work to discover who you are from an ancestral and ethnic perspective. This voodoo journey, I have been in the game. I have been in the voodoo, the hoodoo, the conjure, the magic game for over 20 years. And the more I study, the more I find home in myself. Okay. The more that I study my ancestors, the more that I discover who I am through who my ancestors were, the more I find home in myself. You are not the black sheep. Actually, you're not. You're not. You are a product of folks who've been influenced by colonialism, by capitalism, slave-based capitalism, and they have been taken out of their original selves. You are a person who has been disconnected from their ancestry. You are a person who has been disconnected from their culture and their heritage. None of us is black sheep, baby. We are just disconnected. And I want to tell you, the deeper I go into healing, the deeper I go into re-indigenization, the deeper I go into decolonization, the more I find home in myself. The more I find home in myself. This new world is based off of some wild things, and a lot of us don't have the ability to find our connection or our representation or our definition in this new world. But I'm here to remind you that there is home for you. You aren't weird, honey. You aren't so weird. Like, babe, you you good. You good. Take a deep dive into your ancestry. Take a deep dive into history. You're going to have to go through some ugly things. You're going to have to relive some painful things that your ancestors have lived through. But once you get through that, you're also going to come to some joyous things that your ancestors have done, have accomplished. You're going to once you get through all the ugly of your ancestors, you're going to hit a seat of power with your ancestors. And when you hit that seat of power, you will be able to use that seat of power to travel back through your healing and through your lineage and heal the messed up parts. And also glorify and uplift the most beautiful parts of you that came from your ancestors. Hope this made sense. Let me check in with these comments. Let me check in with these comments. Raven Trey said, yes, house music. I have no idea when that comment came about, but I want to say too, yes, house music. I'm a child of house music. I love to dance. Y'all love to dance? I love to dance. That's a part of what I'm going to be dancing to tonight with a private. I think that's what that comment was responding to when I was talking about the private dance party I have with my ancestors. Let's talk about that. The fact that, like, ancestor veneration. So, ancestor veneration, I venerate my ancestors all the time. Getting back to coloring, and we're also going to get back to some affirmations. I'm going with this yellow Crayola crayon. This is from my box of random, what is this? Colored pencils. Yeah, that's right. LadySpeech in the house. This is Crayola, and this is just Amarillo. This is just yellow. So I'm still working on this flower right here that I showed you guys earlier. So yeah, what was I saying? Oh, I love to dance. I love all the musics. I love the hip hop. I love the pop. I love the house music. I love the reggae. I love the reggaeton. I love all that shit. So we're going to be dancing to all of that tonight. Tonight we're definitely going to be dancing when I do my ancestral dance party. Oh, we were talking about ancestral veneration. So yes, I venerate my ancestors on a daily. I have an ancestor altar that I give them a little piece of breakfast every morning. I try to make sure that I get them daily coffee. If I don't get them daily coffee, they at least get a. I want. Here's the thing with my ancestor veneration. I'm going to share with you. So I venerate my ancestors right now because it changes as you shift through life. So right now in my life, I venerate my ancestors every day. I always offer up a prayer. Most mornings they get a cup of coffee. And they also get a little piece of breakfast. So if I'm having a breakfast sandwich, they get like a quarter breakfast sandwich, or they get a half breakfast sandwich. So that's how I venerate my ancestors. I also venerate my ancestors by dancing. There's some of us who cannot have an altar up in the houses that we live, because of our situation. So you don't always have to. You don't need an ancestor altar to venerate your ancestors. If you have the ability to build an ancestor altar, I would suggest it, but you also don't need it. And also, that's not the only way. So even though I do have an ancestor altar that I use to communicate and venerate my ancestors at, that's not the only way. One of the ways that I venerate my ancestors is through these private dance parties that I have. I love to dance. And for me, dancing is a spiritual experience. And so when I'm out here grooving and moving with my ancestors, it's a prayer. I so I do that. I dance with my ancestors. Dance was a huge part of my ancestry, from an ancient perspective to a new world perspective. So my body is the altar. So even if you can't build an altar to your ancestors, know this: your body is an altar to your ancestors. Every part of your body comes from an ancestor. You are a walking altar to yourself and your ancestors. When you build an ancestor altar outside of you, that's amazing. But you also need to understand that you are the ancestor altar. And you can venerate your ancestors by taking care of your body. You can venerate your ancestors by using your body to give thanks for your ancestors. Dance is a veneration of my ancestors and for my ancestors, because it's an acknowledgement of a time when my ancestors could not move freely. And so I move my body freely in dance in the ways that I want to. And that right there is a whole prayer within itself. So yes, I will be dancing to house music. I will be dancing to hip hop. I will be dancing to reggaeton. I will be dancing to reggae. I will be dancing to bachata. I'll be dancing to all kinds of shit tonight. I love it. I love it. Let me check in with these comments. Ray the Trey said, truth. When you start to strip away the white supremacy from your consciousness and subconsciousness, you begin to realize your ancestors were indeed you, your truest form. That's right. Your ancestors are you. And here's the thing, y'all. Don't venerate your colonizer ancestors. Do not celebrate your colonizer ancestors. However, you can utilize that colonizer ancestor energy in your blood by acknowledging it's in your blood, by studying the history of them and recognizing that some of the traits of them did come to you, and then utilizing those traits against the modern day colonizers. I just put you up on some free game. The Cash App is LadySpeech. The Venmo is LadySpeech Sankofa. The PayPal is LadySpeechSankofa@gmail.com. Let me get through some of these comments. Yes. Sarah said, I believe that's a new one. Wait, I believe that's a new one, was my exact reaction to my daughters telling me she was pansexual. And as I educated, I looked to her and she said, yes, me too. Yes, I love that, Sarah Hunter. See, that's what I'm talking about. Here's the thing. Your daughter introduced you to a new definition and you were like, I don't know about that, but let's learn. And then you learned. And then you were like, oh, wait a minute. I think that's me. I think you got it from your mama. Ha! I think you got it from your mama. Ha! I think you got it from your mama. That's a great thing about being open-minded, is because you're going to learn something about yourself. The great thing about being open-minded to other people is that you will always learn something about yourself. This is why I'm open. If you like it, I love it, honey. If you like it, I love it. And it don't mean I have to understand it. It don't mean I have to agree with it. But when I am just open to other people, I learn something about myself. Let me go ahead and acknowledge these super chats. Dane, thank you. $35, baby, on the super chat. $35 on the super chat. I thank you. I dropped mine. I thank you. I thank you. Yes, I do. I thank you. And I also want to say, Dragon Dancer, thank you for your super chat. 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 I'm gonna give y'all an update on these flowers that I've been coloring, but let me color in one last petal before I give you an update. And then we're gonna do some affirmations. Are you guys enjoying this? I hope you are. Let me know in the comments if you are. We're gonna do some more relaxed things. Here's the thing. I understand that I am so formal with a lot of you. And as a spiritual teacher, it is important for me to be formal in a lot of perspectives because I have a job to do with y'all. But I'm a whole human, and it is important for y'all and us to connect as humans. So I hope you are enjoying this. If you're not, I'm gonna be honest with you. I am. So I'm gonna keep doing this shit because I enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it too, actually. I hope you do. Also, I'm gonna just keep doing what I do. So there's that. Let's check in with this. This is what she's looking like. I'm loving this. It's Friday. I'm going with the yellows and golds, of course, because I'm a daughter of Oshun. And like today is her day. So of course I chose this. Of course I chose flowers. Of course I chose this color scheme. Again, I hope you guys are like good with this because I'm enjoying this and I'm gonna do more of this. And I love doing these Q&As with you and coloring with you guys and letting you in on this personal part of my life. Coloring is so relaxing to me and it helps me just focus my mind. And like it really helps me to be like why I love coloring is because I can be so neurospicy. I can enforce all of my rules. I can do what I want to do. And I love coloring because of that. It just satisfies so many of the things. I have a lot of rules in my neurospicy mind. I'm neurodivergent. That's what neurospicy means. Um, and so coloring is a way for me to like exert a lot of the rules that I have on life in a way that doesn't hurt anybody else. And I can just be free with that. And then in the end, I create something, in my opinion, that's really pretty. That's why I love coloring. That's why I love coloring. Why do you guys like to color? Do you color? Do you have coloring books? What kind of coloring books do you guys have? I have adult coloring books. I don't have any. Oh, well, actually, I do have children's coloring books around because I always am prepared to watch some children. I'm always prepared to take care of some babies. So I do have kids coloring books, but they are not allowed to touch my adult coloring books because some of them are inappropriate. Some of them are inappropriate, like this tattoo book. Some of these pages are not fit for children. But I like it like that. But do you guys like to color? Was that something you guys like to do when you were little? What things do you like to do? You guys like puzzles? Do you like puzzles? What do you do to appease your inner child? Coloring is something that I like to do to appease not only my inner child, but my adult child. Like both, all aspects of my innerness is satisfied. The need for order is because of the pictures and the lines, and sometimes I love coloring from the lines, and I like those boundaries. But then, like to be able to be expressive, that's also something that I really, really enjoy. So, what do you guys? Do you guys like to color? Do you like puzzles? I like puzzles too. I only like puzzles because my biological mother, before we fell out, she bought me a lot of puzzles. That's a good memory for me. Let's do a coloring check-in. This is what she's looking like now. This is what I've been working on. Now I'm seeing that this is because we're in the transition between fall and summer. We're in the beginnings of it, the first tendrils. I'm feeling it. Mostly summer colors, but then we've got some fall-ish added to the mix. Fall-ish added to the mix. All right, I'm obsessed with this coloring now. Let me get off of this, and then we're going to do some affirmations. This is looking so good. I love this little flower. Oh, I'm a hard colorer too. I'll be pressing down. That's also part of the stress relief is the pressure. I think, and that's it. It's not so much like it's the pressure that I use to color. And, it's like a hug. I'm like someone who likes, I like pressure. That's also a trait of neurospicy people. So the pressure of how hard I cover in my color in my hand, like the way that how hard I'm pressing, and the way the tension that that creates in here, it's like an informal corset. That's an insider baseball thing. And the insider baseball information telling neurospiciness. Yeah. All right. Let me check in with these comments. Yes. Let me check in. Let me check in. Look at all the stars in the member chat. Yes, I love all you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I'm so glad that we're a community. Sugar honey dumplings. Are you guys enjoying this member only chat? Because this was a part of being part of the members is the member only chat. I'm actually enjoying it because I'm so stress free about like of like people who are hating coming in here. So I'm super enjoying this. I hope you guys are enjoying this. We're definitely gonna be do some more of this. Oh my god. Dragon Dancer said, so one of my ancestors actually started the colonization of Europe. That was an interesting experience. All right, Dragon Dancer. So yeah, that can be, here's the thing, you can take that both ways and you should heal from it both ways. That can be a source of shame. You should process that. And then once you process that, you can then begin to use that energy and transmute that energy and use it for the greater good of folks of color, of people that, of the marginalized people that your ancestors affected. You can then begin to use that energy. And I have a whole class about that. Please know that, baby. Let me tell you something. The membership, I introduced this month. Next month is Patreon. After that, it's gonna be the website. Then it's all, girl. I got a lot for y'all. I got a mentorship program, but specifically how to work with and how to use the colonization of your ancestors for the greatest good of yourself. How to transmute that energy. I got a whole alchemy workshop for y'all. So just know that's coming. Just know that's coming. Dawn said you are enjoying this. I'm so glad you are, my love. Ray the Trey said coloring is so chilled because you create a vibe. Exactly. You can create what you want to. Misty said love coloring and drawing and chalk. Chalk is amazing. I'm not a good drawer, but I fucking love chalk. I will color on the asphalt all day. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Dragon Ninja said you'll be looking into that class. I'm glad. I got all kinds of stuff. I got all kinds of stuff for you. I got all kinds of stuff for you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, the hell I do. So here's the thing. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to every single person who came in tonight. I want to say thank you to every single person who has joined me, who has ever watched my videos. If you have liked my stuff, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have shared my stuff, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you for supporting me. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for loving me. I appreciate you for just uplifting me. It's rough out here in these streets. So every single one of y'all's affirmative messages lifts me up, whether I see it or not. There's a lot of times I actually don't get to see some of y'all's messages for months at a time. But when I see it, when I finally get my hands on it, it's at the perfect time and it always uplifts me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I am done with the picture that I colored. I started out with you. That's what we did today, baby. This section right here, it's giving fall, it's giving summer, it's giving relaxation. I didn't do as many affirmations that I wanted to do, but let's do some affirmations now. So this affirmation says, the only approval I'll ever need is mine. Repeat after me. The only approval I'll ever need is mine. 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 This one is a quote by Katharine Hepburn, which says, if you obey all the rules, you'll miss all the fun. Let's change that to I. If I obey all the rules, I'll miss all the fun. If I obey all the rules, I'll miss all the fun. If I obey all the rules, I'll miss all the fun. If I obey all the rules, I'll miss all the fun. Let's do this affirmation last. I own the power to rebuild myself anew. 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 All right, you beautiful people, it's been an hour. And I don't want to take up all of your time. I just want to take up a little bit of your time. But I also just wanted to see how we liked this format. You let me know in the comments if you like this. We're going to do some more coloring and affirmations. I'm feeling it. So if enough of you like it, keep doing this. I appreciate all of my members who showed up in the comments. I appreciate all the new members who joined in this stream. I love you so dearly. And y'all let me know in the comments what kind of these interactions you'd like more. Definitely want to do some more Q&As and affirmations with you. But let me know if you want me to pair that with other things like coloring or other things. I love you so much. And just in case no one has told you today, you are beautiful, you are amazing, and you are divine. And on that note, I'll see you guys all in the next video. God, Goddess, Loa Orisha willing. I love you. I live you. Thank you. Mwah. Peace.